Welcome back, everyone. I am Josh Heath. I am the Chief Operations Officer of High Level Games. I am doing some more Captain's Log today, diving into creating a sector using the Exploration Guide, which is a Star Trek Adventures second edition book that has recently come out. And I'm using that as a tool for building a sector for playing my solo role playing adventure through Star Trek Adventures, right? I'm going to talk about my character in a second, just to remind folks who might have not made it to yesterday's stream or not seen yesterday's stream yet. So I ended up rolling up a character that I'm running in the Picard era that happens to be a changeling who has joined Starfleet so that they are a commander and in engineering. I can use words today. Words are going to happen. They're commander in engineering on a starship. The starship that I built was the Alberta. The Alberta is a Ross class ship, scale 6. It's a big whopper of a vessel, and my character is a changeling who appears to be a Romulanoid from this area of space. I'm going to dig in and I'm going to build a sector here in a second and walk through that. I'm going to show you, and I want to see if I can dig up some history on the area that I'm going to be playing in. So hopefully I can zoom in here and show you where I want to build this sector. So this is a map that is from around the Captain Picard solo show. That's not a solo show. The Picard show. And this happens after the Hobus disaster, right? And the Romulan Free State are some of the remnants of the Romulan Empire that exist in that time frame, right? So this is the area. I think you cannot see my mouse. Maybe you can see my mouse moving. I'm going to build it around Starbase 10, somewhere between the Hobus sector itself, Gamma, Tucanae, Eden. It's going to be in this square. You can see my mouse moving. Awesome. It's going to be in this square where Terex and Iota Centauri are, right? That's the square that I'm going to build into a full sector for exploration. But I want to try and do a thing real quick and Google Eden in Star Trek. Okay, so that brings up The Way to Eden, which I don't think is about the same place. I think that's an episode that is unrelated to Eden, this planet, right? No, okay, yep. Dr. Severin says their destination is the planet Eden, which they say is a myth. Interesting. Oh, this is a fun episode too, because it's one of the most mocked episodes about this, band that kind of comes on to the Enterprise and that they have to deal with. Anyway, I wanted to check on that and see what the major elements. I'm going to look for some other places and I'm going to pull them on the screen. Gamma Tucanae. This is a real-world star system that appears on Star Trek star charts as a navigational reference point visible from Earth in the constellation Tucana. Okay, I'm using the AI overview. Shouldn't do that. Let's look at Memory Alpha. That is the better place to look. Okay, it's a star system in the Beta Quadrant. So we're going to be firmly in the Beta Quadrant, right? I need to move that just so you can see it a little bit better. Get rid of that ad. Okay, it's a single star system. Primary Gamma Tucanae was an F-type dwarf. Okay, so we don't have a ton of information, but it does come up a little bit as a location. So we know that. We know that about Gamma Tucanae. I'm going to look up Terex next. That's probably the last one I'm going to look at because it's in the actual sector we're going to be in. Let's see. Okay, it's got a memory alpha listing as well. Folks who are not aware of memory alpha, it is a wonderful resource about Star Trek and all the information. So this is actually about the ship. The Terex was a Romulan D'Deridex class. Those are the big, ships that they have that have a black hole as their power source, supposedly. Interesting. So this was, it was Tomalek's flagship during a face-off and all good things. Okay, that's good to know. Okay. I think that shares the name of the Terex system, which I had the wrong thing. So let's get the Terex system. That's what we want. Labeled on star charts. Okay, so we really don't know much about it. So I'm going to check memory beta. I don't normally go that deep, but memory beta is kind of the additional information, like some of the comics and the books and things like that are considered beta canon, right? So let's see what the beta canon on Terex is. Okay, it's a system that has a planetary 2 worlds, including Terex 2. During the Kelvin timeline, Terex was considered to be in Romulan space. Okay, yeah. All right, we know nothing about this square of space, really. We know that it was part of the Romulan Empire. We know that it is relatively close to Starbase 10 and 4, right? It's within the distortion field that is currently around the Hobus star system after the destruction of Romulus and Remus. So we know that has occurred. But it gives us a lot of free space to build something out of. Now, I want anyone watching this to know I have read these rules. I have the physical copy and I have the PDF up, but I have not dived deeply into this specific subsystem before. So I have no idea if I'm going to do this well or right or anything like that, which is exciting. I think it's interesting to see what we come up with. I also want to note, I am running the Captain's Log rules, right, for this. I didn't know this. I knew that my friend Allison Seib, who helped write May I Enter, did most of the core writing and design on May I Enter's mechanics and the core writing on developing the idea out. Allison actually was one of the main writers for Captain's Log as well. I know that Michael, and Michael, I apologize if I ruin your last name here, Michael Dismuke, Michael Dismuke, I'm not 100% sure. Correct me, please, at some point. Maybe I should look that up. Was the lead writer on this, and Allison did significant writing on Captain's Log as well, which is fantastic. Part of the reason I wanted to work with Allison was because of their solid work on things like this. So I just wanted to shout out that is true, and that connection, right, that I have to the greater Star Trek Adventures world, as it were, is somewhat personal. So going back to the exploration guide. Let's look at the writers. Who is the writers for this one? Head of brand, managing director. Here at the top, of course, Jim Johnson, project manager. Jim's an excellent resource for Star Trek Adventures. Has been working as the lead developer, right, the project manager for this for a while. And writers on this exploration guide: Eric Campbell, Marlek Cross, Michael again, Nathan Dowell, AJ Fox, Jim, Aaron Palia, and Al Spader. Have spoken to Al quite a bit. Have seen a few of these other folks on the various places on social media and seen some of their work. So it's awesome to see such great designers having worked on this book, right? So I'm going to go to chapter 2, which is the sector generation rules. And this is the system that I'm going to run through. It's chapter 2, sector generation, right? I told you I'm creating that chunk in the sector. I'm going to do this all randomly, and we will see what we get, see if there's anything interesting for us to dig into. First of these probability tables These probability matrices that I'm going to run through is number of notable systems within the sector. So let's roll our d20. I get 8, so there are 5 notable systems. I need to write these down, so I'm going to use a Word document to do that. Give me a second. I should have pulled that up sooner, but I'm going to put it here on the side, and that should give us enough space to be able to write a couple of notes. So we've got 5 notable systems. All right, that is our first element that we are procedurally generating here for our sector. All right, here is the checklist. Step 1, roll for number of notable systems. Step 2, determine sector phenomena. Step 3, determine the stellar density of the sector, right? This is an amazing little checklist. I will come back to this if I need to. Otherwise, I'm just going to walk step by step through it. So sector phenomena are if there's a nebula, right? Or if there are any if there are any stars that have gone supernova, radiation storms, ion storms, things like that in the sector. I'm going to roll and see what we have to deal with that's in this sector. Okay, 4. So sector phenomena that we have to deal with, we've got a nebula class 3. I'll have to look that up because I don't know what that means. Nebula class 3, 4, or 5. I gotta choose, but let's see. Adjustment to notable systems. Roll. Class 3 and 4, -1. Class 5, -2. Ooh, okay. So I've got to decide which of those is going to, it's going to actually remove one of the notable systems and turn that into the nebula. I'm going to pick a nebula class 3, right? So that means we've got 4 notable systems, and we've got, I'm going to name a nebula the Borax, no, that's a type of cleaning supply, Borrelian Nebula. Sure, there's probably Borrelian Nebula out there that already exists, but I'm going to throw one in there, right? That is a class 3 nebula that is in our sector. Okay. The next area we've got to work through is stellar density. How close the stars are to each other, right? A moderate region is a region similar to the Federation. Let's see what we get. I think this one, I don't actually know that I need to use this one. Notable star system modifier, right? I think I'm going to move through this without picking anything here. We'll see if that's a good choice or not. I might come back to this because I don't think I necessarily need to. I'm going to name this sector. What I'm going to name this sector, right? Let's look at where it is on the map, right? With Starbase 10, why don't we call this the Terex sector? I think that's a good idea. We can just decide that's a thing, right? Nothing's stopping us from deciding that's a thing. Feel a little like Bob Ross with the way I'm working through this, right? Going with our happy little accidents and see what we come up with and see how interesting, exciting, and or boring all of this is going to be. So we're getting into generating new stars and systems now. The star and system generation system. All right. So we've got 4 notable systems, right? So that means there's going to be 4 notable stars that we are going to be having to create, right? So this is system 1. This is going to be a type M star. Now, type M are the smallest and coolest of the hydrogen-burning stars, according to this, right? These are stars that are the most common in the galaxy, in real life, as well as in Star Trek. So that's interesting to note. And then type A, type B, type O. No, we don't need to roll on the special spectral types table there. But we do have to roll on the luminosity table. So let's roll that. Let's see, we got a 19, which is a 3, a type 3. Okay, true giants are type 2 and 3, with examples being Pollux, an orange giant, and Capella, yellow. Type 2 are bright giants and are more luminous examples of giants. If I roll the 19, this is a type 3 giant M class star. And I think this one is going to be, let's think of something Roman to use. Let's this be called Cassius. No, there's a Cassius already, but the star is Cassius as well. Right? And let's see. Oh, are there multiple stars in the system? I've already made that decision. I think that there's one. So I'm going to skip rolling that particular one. There are more commonly binary stars in our galaxy than there are, single stars like ours are. But we're going to, move through that. Okay, system spatial phenomena. In this particular system, what sort of spatial phenomena are we going to deal with? 1. Okay, so radiation storm, stellar flare type 2. Oh, wait. The type M. Yep. Brown dwarfs, white dwarfs, radiation storms, stellar flare type 2. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So radiation and ion storms represent a long period of solar flare activity from the system's primary star. So we've got a lot of radiation kind of waving off of this this star, and I think this star probably is in the north part of the sector, right? And it is up there, and it is this radiation storm is from the Hobus event. Let's see. Storm. Hobus event. Cool. So we've added a little bit of story element to that first system that we're dealing with here. And let's see. Let's generate some planets next. Let's see how many planets we're going to get. It'd be funny if we got 1. Okay. We rolled a 4, so between 2 and 5, that is 3 planets. Planets. Okie dokie. Ooh, actually, it is a type M. The type M star that we've got. We actually have a modifier of a -3 on our roll. Brings us to 1 planet. 1 planet. Awesome. So let's generate that planet. Again, this is the first sector that we've got here. We'll see if there's anything interesting on this single planet that we need to generate. Okay, we've got our different classifications. Looking for my first probability matrix. We've got 1 world here. So this is going to be the primary world table that we're going to need to roll on. It's me guessing, because it gives us all these different options for maybe where to start. It assumes more worlds than 1. So let's roll on the primary world, though. Let's see what we get. We get a 9, which is a Class M. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. We have a Class M planet. This is a livable planet, right? Class M planets. They come from, supposedly, the Vulcan classification of M as Minshara class planets. These are livable planets, right? These are planets that have the ability to sustain humanoid life that we see in the galaxy. This is cool that in this weird little sector, we've got this one class M. And so you've got this star that is a probably like a brown dwarf, right? And it is causing these massive radiation storms impacted by the Hobus event. And you've got this single planet in this system, single class M planet that we are going to have to build. I wonder how many moons it's got. Let's get some moons for it. We got to roll the 14, so it's got two moons. Can't spell moons though. M-O-O-N, that spells moon. Anyway, so we've got two little moons. It's a type M star, right? Let's roll for its mass and size. Class M planet, the 13. Oh, perfect. It is Earth, mass, and size. That's what those ones mean there. This is neat. This is a neat planet. I think this is probably going to be our first mission, is digging into some information about this planet. Let me continue on in the creation. Is it a ring world? No, it's not. Let's create the planetary. Okay, there are lots of different. So in this part of the exploration guide, get very quickly off base, right, off track. You've got all these different probability tables for diving into various places on the planet. So I won't dive into that yet. What I'm going to do, I was going to develop the entire sector. But I think what I'm going to do instead of developing the entire sector is I'm going to stop. I'm going to go back to the Captain's Log core book, and I'm going to see if I can generate a mission that focuses on this specific class M planet, right? It's dealing with this radiation storm issue. It's within Romulan space, right? It used to be within a stone's throw of the Imperial core of the Romulan Empire. So that gives us a lot of baseline information to work from. But let's see what I can work out now. Oh, come on, book. Let's see. All right, so I'm back in the Captain's Log core book, and I am trying to find where I want to start. I actually think I wanted to go to the probability matrices, which I'm going to do. Okay. Here are the various probability matrices that I have. Matrices. I think it's matrices. That I'm going to... Oh, it's actually says matrices. Whatever. We'll go with matrices. Matrices. Start by rolling on the mission type matrix. Page 257. All right. So we've got this planet, right? Now we need to see what sort of mission my ship is going to have to deal with, and my character is going to have to deal with on this vessel. Hello to the person that said hello in the chat. I didn't see it until just now, but nice to see you, and hopefully this is an interesting playthrough of this. I'm going to roll to see what our mission is. 19. Roll 2 mission types. All right. So we've got some espionage, maybe. We've got a tactical mission. Uh-oh. Tactical mission. And what's the second one we're going to get? An 11. A patrol mission. Okay, so those are our 2 missions in around this planet. So I've got to find those tables now. The tactical and the patrol table. Okay, the patrol table means, all right, let's see what we can get out. Lots of information. Now, we probably could just say, and I think maybe I'll lean into this, but we could say that we are just patrolling this particular system, this particular solar system, to see what we can, what is here. There's this single planet. We maybe detected it, and we're looking into it, but there's something more going on. So I'm going to roll and see what that something more could be. Oh, search a detained vessel. Oh, that's fascinating. So let's say there is a Romulan Free State vessel that is caught by the local authorities. This particular system has its own government that has kind of stood up in the wake of the Hobus disaster, right? They have caught this Romulan Free State vessel, and they have detained it. And we, the Federation, are going to be involved in some way, shape, or form. Let's see what we get with the tactical roll also. I rolled a 5. Our mission is to blow something up. Oh, see, I put this in the wrong little area, but that's all right. Just grab it and put it here. And then this tactical mission is to blow something up. All right, so our mission here is actually to blow up we have to blow up a moon. We're going to blow up one of the moons around this planet because the debris field is going to create a shelter from the Hobus radiation storms. The people on this planet have agreed. I haven't given this planet a name yet, but we will see if we can generate one here in a minute. The people on this planet have agreed with us. They have worked with us to do this, right? But they catch this Romulan Free State vessel because the Romulans are trying to, for whatever reason, stop the people on this planet from actually blowing this moon up. Why? Why would that be? Okay, so we've picked some of these themes and incidences and ideas already. Like, I've created this basic storyline, right? Where we've got these moons that we're going to blow up. I'm going to see if I can find any other tables to help work through this story that I've created. Generating random threat spins. Okay. Generating conflict. All right, so we've got this general idea of what this is for creating characters, beasts, spaceborne entities, locations, and starships. Let's dig in and we did that already with the exploration guide. Let's design a little bit of the civilization that we've got here. They are space-bound already, right? We know that. They are probably related to the Romulans in some way. Maybe they're a species that the Romulans specifically conquered, right? Okay. Spacefaring civilization, former subjects. Let's roll for their government. See what their government is like. They have a monarchy. Okay. They are run by. They have a queen. Let's see. Queen Kibble. Let's make a reference there. And their religion. Let's roll for their religion. They are strident atheists. They have no religious background at all, which is interesting. And what do they have to offer? Ooh, what are we getting out of the deal of helping them? Now, of course, the Federation might just be willing to help them. Religious mysteries does not make any sense from an atheist society. So we cannot go with that, right? I think I've rolled again just to see if I get something different. It's a strategic location. This makes sense, right? It's a strategic location near the area where we have the Romulan Free State, right? And we are the Federation is looking to use it as a staging ground, right, for further exploration in the sector. So strategic location for our further investigation. Now, I know I just realized our notes aren't showing up on the screen for people to see very well. I apologize for that in advance, but I've got them here on the side. Let me see if I can move them over here, at least between rolls. That should be helpful for us to just have those notes there on the screen. Now it's actually going to be underneath my camera. That's not going to help us at all. I will put them right there in front of the dice roller for now. Anyway. So this is some more location tables that we could use. Pick some of this general idea. I want to know about the ship that we are investigating. I think I'd probably have to go back to the ship generator to do that right. I do want to do that for this particular thing. So I need to squeak those to the side a little bit. I've got to go back to the ship generator, which is earlier in our book. So I'm going to go back to the table of contents to find our ship generator. Your home among the stars, 139. Generating a random starship. I've already decided that it's a Romulan vessel, right? I think I've got some non-Federation vessel information in here. And if I don't, that's okay. I think I can just go straight to ship talents and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to roll on our... Do I need all this? That's a good question. So I'm trying to get some sort of general information about this Romulan vessel that I wasn't going to be able to come up with on my own, on the fly necessarily. I'm not finding a good probability matrix for that. So I'm just going to write out some of this information on this Romulan Free State vessel, right? Free State vessel. It has a cloaking device, right? Like most Romulan. But it broke. And that is why, Queen Kibble and the people on this planet were able to discover it and capture it, right? It has been disabled in orbit. And I think my character is going to dive into trying to review the ship, right? I think that's what his main activity here as one of the engineering staff on the Alberta is. He's going to dig into looking at this vessel and trying to see what's going on with it, what they're trying to do, why they're trying to stop us from disabling or from destroying this moon that we are looking to destroy, right? So these are the core game loop kind of questions for you to work through, right? narrate to a task, right? Roll the dice, determine the impact, narrate the outcome. These are the game loop ideas that we're supposed to work with here in Captain's Log, right? So I don't think I've got a good probability matrix for this, but let me go back to the probability matrices and see. These help me build a mission, but I kind of know what's happening already. I want to see if there's anything that can give me a little bit of drama to the scene that I'm not already producing through my idea. Planets and everything. Additional matrices, right? Let's see. Oh, games people can play, family events, mining hazards. These will be all. Okay, I'm not finding a good one. That's all right. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to make a roll based on my character's sheet. I'm going to do an engineering roll. I'm probably going to make it engineering and insight, right? Which isn't a great roll for me. I'd have to roll under an 11 to do that. But I'm going to be reviewing the engine system, the systems on this Romulan vessel to see what's going on with it. And I rolled a 6, so I succeed. I get 1 success. I didn't use any other resources. Oh, I need to roll 2d20. I know how to play this game. 2 successes, so I got 2 successes on this roll. So I've been able to determine that the Romulans the Romulan ship has been disabled, and they have a strange material on board in their engineering department, right? And this strange material, I do have a good probability matrix for this one. There were some tables that were going to work really well in here. And I just got to find it. Resources. What weird resource is in there? Cortinum. I have no idea what cortinum is, but for whatever reason, there is some cortinum in the main engineering systems of this ship, right? And this seems to indicate that what they're going to do is they are going to put this material on one of the moons. But their goal was to put it on one of the moons before we exploded it, which would actually have caused a cascade failure, destroying the entire solar system, right? So we've discovered that their main goal was to, for whatever reason, destroy this system, right? That's interesting. That's disturbing, right? That they were looking to do that. So I think what's going to happen here is my character, Josh Heath, is going to go to his commanding officer, to the head of engineering, and say, hey, I have determined that this cortinum is here on this vessel. My concern, sir, is that they have uncovered that they're using this to destroy the rest of the solar system. I'm not sure why. I don't exactly know what is going on to make them want to destroy this system fully. Now, I think based on this idea, right, that they're here to destroy the entire system, I think what I would lean into is that Queen Kibale is a individual who has always been antagonistic to the imperial leadership, but being where this system is, being where her planet is, it has been strategically controlled for a long time, right? And her ability to both keep the Free State out. I imagine they have a small, fleet of really powerful vessels that they have inherited from the collapse of the Romulan Empire. And she's established the specific place as her own safe haven, right? For her people. She is, definitely a strict monarch, but not not an evil one, right? She is not, establishing the centrality and the safety of this place for her for any negative reasons, right? It is just historically that she is, responsible for these people and is trying to make sure that they are not just absorbed again into the remnants of the Romulan Empire, the Romulan Free States, right? She is trying to establish her own separate identity and segment of polity in this space. The question is she potentially interested? She asked the Federation to come here and support her. Perhaps there's some interest in her working with the Federation, right? Maybe they're not willing to fully join the Federation, but they are interested in additional Federation support for establishing their own independence. Maybe eventually that will turn into, some form of connection, deeper connection to the Federation. But I think that's what we're going to go with, right? So let's name this place. I'm going to look up some Greek colonies. The Greek colonies, back when ancient Greece was a major power, Greece had a lot of different colony states in various places. We're going to go with Thurium. That is the name of this planet. It's Thurium. Right. Let's see if I can. Thurium. And Queen Kibele has asked for Federation support. Create a bulwark against the Romulan Free State. So we've created one system in this sector. I've run through a little bit of this story, right? Where we've got this planet and we have noted they have captured this Romulan vessel. They have this strange material. We know what they were going to use it for, that they were going to destroy the entire system. And Queen Kibele has asked for our support. I think what I'm going to do is make one more roll. And the role is specifically if my character can help make sure that the moon blows up so that we can correctly, effectively create the buffer against the radiation storm that this system is dealing with. So I'm going to say I've got a talent related to or the ship has got a talent, electronic warfare systems. It can do this, right? A phaser blast at the right place against this moon will destroy it in the right way and create this radiation shield. My character is not perfectly suited for this, so I'm going to do a roll with the ship. The ship is going to do this particular role using our weapons, not the best system, but using engineering instead of con or security, right? I'm going to give it 2d20. I'm going to roll. We're going to set the difficulty for this at 2. I'm going to roll 2. So you don't get any momentum, or you can. There are ways if you want to use momentum, but I've got 2 dice to roll here. Hopefully I get 2 successes. Oh, I do not. We fail. We fail miserably at this roll. So we blow up the moon, but it does not create the radiation. The radiation is too powerful. And it still seeps through, impacting the planet. Whoa, that's rough. Okay, so this has happened. We're now kind of centered this story around this particular planet that we're trying to protect. We have destroyed the Federation, in all its wisdom, has destroyed one of these moons in an attempt to create a radiation shield that did not work. It was unsuccessful. So we have no chance for creating that type of radiation shield again. But the Queen is not mad at us. She can see that we did our best. We had the right plan. It just was unsuccessful, right? The moon did not create the right type of material that we anticipated it would. And we will have to dig deeper to see if we can be successful, either than helping them in the future or protecting them against the Romulan Free State, right? I think at the same time, the Romulan Free State vessel escapes. Let's see, it tries to escape. I'm going to see if we can roll on our weapon system to disable them fully. We're going to roll a weapons and security to see if we can shoot their vessel. Yeah, no, and it creates an even stronger complication. I got a 20, so there's a complication. We failed, and there's a complication. Firing on them creates increases the impact of the rate. Oh, the things are bad on Thurium in this system, so we are going to leave it there. I think it's going to be a cliffhanger episode of us playing through this little story. We're going to pick up again tomorrow, or maybe the next day if I decide to do a different type of live stream tomorrow. But this has been fun. I showed off a little bit of the exploration guide, a little bit of the captain's log rules, and some of the probability matrix and some of the storytelling elements. Thank you for watching this, and please, leave comments and things like that in the chat for me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and